Welcome to Tet Tet, guys, a place for hope, truth, and healing. And today I have a special guest with me. And this guest is also, full disclosure, a friend of mine. And the reason why I have him on, I think he's an inspirational guy, where he came from, his story. I know a little bit about his story, and I've always been very curious to hear the whole thing. And I'm very happy that he accepted my invitation to actually share it with all of us. And I think his story has a lot in it, just like a lot of you. And I believe everybody has a story that can help somebody. And so today we're going to hear my friend Isaac just kind of go through his story from, being born in Haiti to where he is now serving in the military. And I think there's so much courage, so much to learn from that for a kid coming from Haiti. I'm a living testimony of that. And so is he. And speaking of Haiti, in case you don't know what's been going on, so check this out. Now, you have a pretty good idea what's been going on. And really, I feel like, from my perspective, that things has gotten worse. But again, I don't know. Somebody else might feel differently, but right now things are looking really bad. But without going any further, so I'd like to welcome Isaac to the show. Isaac, thank you for taking the invitation to speak with me. How are you, buddy?
Good. Hi, everyone. Like my buddy just said, my name is Adrien, and I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. Awesome. And hey, listen, we're going to jump right into it. And the whole objective for this episode, for this podcast, it's literally to give my viewers a little bit of what it's like to have been born in Haiti, grew up in Haiti. And if there's one thing I want people to get from that, and I'm going to reiterate that again, it's specifically for Haitians or anybody from a third world country. Believe in God, believe in something more than just yourself or what you see around you. That will take you far. And just have faith, have faith. Sometimes you just never know. You don't know what's behind the corner. And again, I'm a living testimony of that. And as you will hear from Isaac's story, and I'm sure you're going to be encouraged, and you're definitely going to get something out of it. So first question for you, Isaac. So, where were you born from Haiti? I know you're from Haiti, but where exactly were you born in Haiti?
I was born in Port-au-Prince, Carrefour, Port-au-Prince,
Okay. So
and
what? Yeah, go ahead. Go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. I was born in Carrefour, Port-au-Prince, but my family, my mom is from Jeremy, that is like in the south. And my
Okay.
dad is from the same place too. So they both came to Port-au-Prince and then they met and that's where they got married and have 6 kids.
6 kids. So you have 6 siblings.
I have 5 siblings.
5. Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
So are you in touch with them? Did you grow up with them?
I'm in touch with them and like I have like two that passed like several years ago, but
Sorry
I
to hear
didn't
that.
grow sorry. I didn't grow up with all of them because when I was 3 years old, my mom passed after giving birth to my youngest brother. So, my dad had to put us in different orphanages. So, me and two of my siblings, we grew up in the same orphanage. The other and two that like my sister and my youngest brother who passed, they grew up in a different orphanage, but their orphanage did adoption. So they ended up being adopted. So I lost contact with them when I was in Haiti. And then my dad kept one, like our oldest brother who was handicapped. And then after that, he sent him to a handicap place.
Okay. So basically you were raised in an orphanage. Tell me a little bit more about that orphanage.
It's that orphanage, like when you living in a place you thought it was the worst, but after that you realize it was the best place ever. But that orphanage, the name of that orphanage, I don't really call it orphanage because it was more like a home
Okay.
because it was different from all the other orphanages that I visited and that I worked in because we live like brothers and sisters. Like one thing I remember that the missionary said to me, they said, "We're not here to change Haiti. We're here to help you guys so that you guys can help your in the future." So, and that word stayed with me, and then I always remember that. And like growing up at the orphanage, like at first the orphanage was in Port-au-Prince, Delma, and then after that we move up in the mountains, where we had to walk to school every morning, like 2 miles. School starts at 7 in the morning,
Excuse me.
and I had to wake up at 4 in the morning before I go to school. I had to feed my rabbits. I had to feed my goats and
Okay.
guinea pigs before I go to school. And then like we had chores at the orphanage
Mhm.
because like they said they didn't want to give us free money, but
Right.
they give like everyone a chore and then you get paid every week.
Mhm.
So when like you can't just they then just like hand us the money. They make a little bank account for us. So every Sunday, if you want money for the week, you have to make a list. Like everyone puts their name on the list how much they want on their bank account so that you can get that money by Sunday night and then you have that money for a week. But if you
Okay.
don't work, you don't get paid.
Mm.
We thought it was the worst thing, like, "Man, we gotta work to make money," but at
Yeah.
the end, we
Yeah.
saw that, like, it was, they were preparing us for what was out there
For
and
sure.
stuff.
For
So,
sure. It builds character. I love the fact that
yes.
they do that. So,
Yeah.
which you may have already answered that question. So, who ran it? So, was it missionaries or other Haitians that ran the orphanage?
Missionaries.
Okay.
Missionaries, right now, they live in Florida.
Okay.
They
So
they
they're Americans.
retired. Yeah, they're
Okay.
Americans, and they actually pass it down to one of the kids who grew up in the orphanage.
Okay. Did you learn English there? Did they speak English with you guys or did they also speak Creole?
They speak in they speak English and Creole with all of the kids,
Okay.
but like I think specifically me, I asked them, when you guys speak, can you speak only English with me because
Mm,
I want to improve my English.
gotcha.
So yeah, it was mostly English, and then like sometimes they do like classes for us too. Like yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So would you say you were very fortunate to have been raised in an orphanage by those missionaries as opposed to kind of the plight of the rest of the, I guess, kids on the streets or who kind of got it worse?
I said I was fortunate to raise in a good orphanage because not all
Well,
orphanages are good.
that's a good distinction. Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
So I could say I grew up after I left the orphanage that I grew up, I realized that I grew up in a palace compared
Mm,
to what I've
mm,
seen out there. I was like,
yes, sir. Hmm.
man, like it's rough. Like I grew up in
Yeah.
a palace, bro.
Do you have any stories about the other ones, like what you've
Oh
heard?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah. When I left the orphanage, back in after the earthquake in 2010,
Hmm.
I left the orphanage. I think I was 19 or 20.
Hmm.
That's when I left the orphanage. I was at first after the earthquake, I was building houses for people and like stuff like that. Like we build around 3,000 wooden houses, like temporary houses for people
Mm,
in Quadra
mhm.
like Prosper area, and then up in Fort Jack, we built several ones of them. And then after that, I was fortunate to get a visa to come to the States, and then I was going back and forth. And then I met some friends at uh in Pennsylvania, and then I started to work with them in a orphanage that is in the north side of Haiti, Akaye.
Okay.
And that's when I realized that like that orphanage had 45 kids. None of the kids spoke English when like they had like missionaries like come down like once a year.
Mhm.
And when the missionaries come down like for 1 week once a year, for that 1 week,
Yeah.
the kids were clean. They had shoes on, everything. Like they eat good.
Ah,
But after that week when the missionaries left, nah, everything
back to the
changed.
normalcy. Yeah.
Yeah, back
Wow.
to the normal. Barefoot, they're not eating great. And like the kids wanted me, like they gained my trust because like I play with them and I make them feel comfortable. So they started telling me what was
Mhm.
going on.
Mhm.
And like they wanted me to like call the missionaries like from the States and tell them what's going on.
Right,
But
right,
I know if I did that, like I wouldn't feel safe being
right.
down there
You will be a
because like
target. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, I would definitely be a target. But I told him, hey, I'm gonna help you guys fight, but my own way. So I told him, you guys, it's better if they hear it from you than from me.
Mhm.
So like only the people who were in charge of the orphanage, they were
Yeah.
the only one who spoke English, like broken English. So I told the kids, hey, if you ask the missionaries, like tell them that you wanna go to English school, you want to learn English, and then I'll
Mhm.
teach you guys English. So they told the missionaries that, and then they're like, well, where do you guys want to go? They said, we don't want to go anywhere. We want Isaac to teach us English. So they asked me how much do I want to teach the kids English for them. I said I don't
Mhm.
want anything.
Mhm.
I'll just do it for free. I'm doing it for the kids.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
ended up teaching 45 kids English. It was tough.
Wow. Wow. I bet.
It was tough,
I
yeah.
bet, man. I bet.
But like they got it. And then when the missionaries come down, like they were asking, like the Haitians who were running the orphanage wanted to hire translators to
Mhm.
translate for the missionaries.
Mhm.
I said, no, the kids can do it now. They said,
Mhm.
no. I said, yes, the kids can do it because I just wanted them to have the practice so
Mhm.
that like when it's time for them to stand up for themselves,
Yeah.
so, yeah, so I did that and the kids started translating for people and then they got a hang of it and then boom, they just started standing up for themselves. Most of them had families. The
Yeah.
missionaries didn't know. It's like it was a mess.
Yeah.
But that
Yeah.
that orphanage is no more, so the kids fought for themselves and I'm happy they
That's
did
good, man.
that.
That's
So,
good.
yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. And yeah, because as you were explaining your experience at the orphanage that you were at, and immediately, again, from what I know about Haiti, it did sound like, wow, this doesn't sound too bad, right? Because
Mhm.
especially like how they were teaching you guys with like the management of money, like the character that they were building in you guys, and the mindset of we're not here to change Haiti or to keep giving handouts, but we're here to help you help yourself, which is, I believe that should be the model for anybody to
Yes.
interpret. Because at the end of the day, I mean, look at Haiti, like the amount of money that's been poured into Haiti, like the help or the lack of, the corruption that's at its highest, and the people who really want to help, they're not put in a position to do so. And so it always has to be, hey, listen, I want to help you help yourself because that's what's
Mhm.
sustainable. So But yeah, so what you just described there, the last orphanage, that's more like Haiti. That's norm for how things are in Haiti and how people are being treated and how life is. And it's sad. It's sad that, that's the way of life in a third world country, especially in this day and age. So
It's sad because like most people who come down there, they said we want to help, we're missionaries. I can tell you that 90% of them are not really what they say they are.
I agree. I agree to that. And
Because
that's
like
a go ahead. Go ahead.
some of them really come down there because they heard what other people are doing, so they just want to like get money and then go back to
Right.
States and buy a beautiful nice house.
Right.
Like I've seen that. I heard that especially after the earthquake.
Listen, man, like ever since I was little, from the churches that I used to go to, we would have missionaries every once in a while. And right now, there's a stigma that's pretty much most people know. Missionaries are not always there to actually do, just like you said, what they are there to do. There's too much faking in it. Obviously, there are really good missionaries, such as the ones that that you were raised by. But at the same time, there are missionaries that are just like, feels like, to put it quite simply, they're checking off a box, right? Hey, I did that work. There's that so that people can see or whatever it is, some accolade that they're looking for. And then there are just ones that are some type of NGO. They're getting funding from somewhere and they're just gonna go and then, hey, we're doing this and that, we're doing this and that. Because like, think about it, man. Look at how your orphanage did it. Why can't all the other ones do it the same way? Where they're teaching the kids to learn English, they're teaching them valuable skills, they're teaching them this and that. Because once you leave it up to some Haitian to be in charge that doesn't even share the same values as you, that doesn't see the well-being of the kids, the Haiti flourishing in that way, that's not their goal. They're just trying to fill up their pockets. You already know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
It's greed.
yeah, here's one thing about Haiti. Let's say you go to a town like there was nothing going on and you build an orphanage, all right?
Mm-hmm.
So that once you build that orphanage becomes like the center of the town. Like
Right.
everyone will come to you, all right?
Yeah.
And then let's say you want to bring a group down there. I'm not I'm not against bringing a group. That's great. Like they can have the experience. But once you bring a group of missionary down there to work, remember there's like people in the community that needs jobs, like painting jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you bring a group down, and then they just do it for free when there's people in the community that are looking for jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So you just like taking jobs away from them. Why don't like if you're doing a project, you invite some people in the community, you work with them, you still pay them because at the end of the day, like they have to feed their family too,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So you teach them how to do it so that next time you don't have to bring as many missionaries that you want to bring down to do the projects because like you have a group of Haitians that like already know like how
Mm-hmm.
to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you
And
teach people there. Like you give them the resource, you give them the know-how so that they can sustain themselves in the future, not just now, but in the future type of deal.
yeah, and another big thing like I've seen that missionaries, another big mistake like I've seen that they do, it's like they have this project in their mind.
Hmm.
They build it, they wrote it down, and then they do all their math in the States. All right. And
Hmm.
then they bring the project down to Haiti, but they don't put in their mind that Haiti is not America. The
Mm.
tools you can find in America to fix the project if something goes wrong, you will not find it in Haiti.
Hmm.
So what happens after you build that electric pump and then yay, it's working, and then you go back to the States and as soon as you go back, the pump stops working. We
Right.
don't have the resource to build it in Haiti. So why not sitting with the people in the community and ask them, hey, what is the project that you guys need help with? Instead of just like coming down there with your own project.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, again, you bring something that the people don't know how to fix if it were to break, or they don't have the know-how or the tools to fix it. It's kind of the desire is there, but the sustainability is not there, because it's not just building it, it's running it, keep it going. Just, I don't know. So yeah, let me ask you this: where were you when the earthquake happened?
When the earthquake happened, I was in a church.
The world is coming to an end.
January 12th, 2010. It was Haiti's reality. The life-changing earthquake lasted just 38 seconds. From the Caribbean country's national symbol to neighborhoods, schools, the healthcare system, government buildings, nearly everything was crushed, except for hope.
This might just be how the country is remembered. Nothing has changed.
We were rehearsing and we were singing, and then all of a sudden we heard like this weird noise. And when we ran out, like I jumped over people because like we had no idea what was going on. So we all started running outside because the church was a concrete church and it was shaking. Luckily, it didn't collapse. So, like, we all ran outside. When we ran outside, it was all dusty everywhere. Like, I was in shock. Some people were crying, and then I just remember, hey, I'm the oldest at the orphanage. I should go check the orphanage because the orphanage was like a two-story building.
Mm-hmm.
So, as I was running, and then when I almost got to the orphanage, I saw somebody was yelling because like a big part of the wall had like fell on her. Like
Mm.
from her waist to her leg was under the wall. And then she was like, Isaac, Isaac, help me. And then I was like, I can't help. Like, that's a big wall. Like when you're in shock, you just never know what you can do, man.
The adrenaline's
Because
going.
like
Yes.
I actually went there, like I don't know how it happened, but somehow the Lord was there.
Mm.
Because I was like, this is a big testimony for me, because like when I did it at the moment, I didn't realize until the girl was telling me what I
Mm-hmm.
did for her.
Sure.
And she actually goes to church, and then she was like saying what I did. I was like, I don't think I did that. But like
So what
what
happened?
so she couldn't move. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up lift the wall up with one hand
Hmm.
and then pull her out
With the
and
other.
then let the wall, yeah, with the other hand, and let the wall down, and then just ran to the orphanage and check on the kids. And like when we were cleaning up, I went to that same big part of like concrete wall, tried to lift it up with two hands. There was no way. Five guys
Oh
came and
boy.
helped
Wow.
me. Five guys came and helped me. They
That's
couldn't.
nuts.
We had to break that wall with a sledgehammer. Like that's a big testimony, like for me.
Come
Like
on,
I'm
man.
like,
Praise God, bro. Praise God.
yeah.
Wow. That's incredible. That's incredible, man. Wow.
Like I wish like that was on video to see like how strong I am, but I'm
Right.
not that strong, bro.
Hey, listen, it doesn't need to be on video. You know why? Because, when it comes to the Lord, it's something that you already know. I know you just joking, but obviously, for one thing, the woman, the lady, told the church. That's the only way she would have gotten out, and that's her testimony just as well as it's yours. But the Lord works in mysterious ways, man. So when you need the strength, it's you ask, and He will give it to you. And that's incredible, man. Like, as you're saying that, I'm just picturing it. I have like my mind works in just like kind of like movies, little movies are playing in my head. I'm taking the words, like the transcript is a movie in my head. So I'm looking at you lifting a wall and grabbing her with one hand, and then like it's incredible, man. That's a powerful testimony. Thank you
I
for
can
sharing that.
tell you right now, I go to the gym even if I went back and try to lift that
You
wall,
could lift
there's
that
no
wall.
no.
Listen, maybe right before you do that, ask the Holy Spirit, give me the strength of, I don't know, Samson or something like that. Ah,
Yeah, man.
that's incredible. That's incredible.
But like to be honest with you, like it doesn't happen like that for everybody, but like natural disaster, like that's what opened my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I started being out there, like helping more, being like doing missionary work
Yeah,
and like helping people because I had this heart, like the same blessings that I got from like the people, the missionaries who came down to help me. I want to give it back to
of
somebody
course,
else.
of course.
Like, just like they told me, hey, I'm not here to change Haiti. I'm here to help you so that you can help your country in
Right.
the
Yeah.
future.
Yeah. I love it, man. I mean, if you ask any of my friends, that's always been um a goal that I have to open an orphanage in Haiti where I came from. And obviously, with the state of Haiti right now, we can't do that. Well, I can't do it right now, and I don't think it's safe for anybody to do. Again, it's not
Let's
safe.
not let's let's not call it orphanage. Let's say a home.
A help center, a home. What, like, again, I say orphanage, that's the easiest way to describe it. But for me, it's just
Mhm.
more specifically, I want to give those orphans a place to
Mhm.
live, and it doesn't have to be an orphanage. So let me give you a quick story. So whenever I was 12 years old. It was 3 years before I moved to the States, and so I went, just from being in Haiti, and I guess I've always had the heart for it. I don't need any pat in the back. That's just who I am. So I went and I started a little organization. I had a name for it. I had it registered, and I had basically everybody from my family had a title. My mom was the secretary. I was the president. I had a little girlfriend at the time. She was the vice president, and my brother wasn't it. Everybody wasn't it. And so what I did,
Mhm.
I would go on the streets and I would just talk to those kids. And most of the time, you're just sitting on the streets. And if they ask you for money, they're beggars. If they ask you for money, a lot of times they don't even buy food with the money. Either it's not enough or they don't think it's going to fill them up. They just go and then buy paint thinner and they get high
Mhm.
on that. So then they get in fights, and a lot of times they have all sorts of scars and stuff like that. It's a it's really sad. So
Mhm.
I took probably, I think it was, I don't know if it was all the way up to 10 of them, but I remember having 6 to 8 of them come into my house. I would feed them, and then whatever clothes that I wasn't wearing, I would give to them. And so that's kind of how it got started. And I love doing that. And
Mhm.
we had meetings and stuff like that. So that's something that I started, and I've always had the drive for it. And I'd love to do that in, like, a bigger setting. So, and anybody who's watching this podcast, you have a heart to help, I'm here. Let's do something. And I'm sure Isaac would love to be a part of it too. But
Yeah,
yeah, no, I
definitely.
think it's great, man. When God does so much for you, especially in my case, the idea of just giving back is not even an option. You don't think about it. You just constantly look forward to do so. And I try to do that as much as I can. But
Mhm.
Haiti in particular, I mean, I'd like to do something here too. There are people
Mhm.
in needs everywhere, but obviously Haiti needs a lot more than people from the US would require, as far as poverty and all that stuff. So it's way more rampant in Haiti.
I would another thing like I would add, I would say right now for how many orphanages that is in Haiti right now.
Mhm,
I mean that
mhm,
are in Haiti right
mhm,
now. Like anyone who wants to help, what I've seen and what I was doing before I moved to the States and joined the army, what
mhm,
I've seen that works, instead of doing a orphanage, like you can still have a mission, but
mhm,
like help the kids, like paying school, feed them, but help the parents keep their kids, help the parents keep their kids.
You
because like you help the kids at their house.
yes.
You pay school, you feed them, but because what's happening is a lot of people come down and they have an orphanage, and most of the kids they have somebody,
Mm, yeah.
uh, uh, dad, a mom, a uncle, and like they have somebody.
Mhm.
So what's ended up happening, like sometimes both parents are alive, and then let's say that parent had two kids, and then they said, "Oh, we can't take care of our kids. Can you take them in your orphanage?" And then you end up taking them to to your orphanage. Guess
Yeah.
what's gonna happen?
Well, the other
They're
ones are
gonna have more kids.
right,
They're
yeah,
gonna
because
have
now
more
they're
kids.
free. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
responsibility thing. Yes.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I agree
And
with you.
then they will keep
And
doing
they
the
still
same thing.
can't take care of them. Yeah,
Yes, but
because they
like
know
if
now
you,
there's somebody to take care of them.
yes, and like there's free room, right?
Yeah.
So why not just like pay school for the kids, because that's the biggest thing, like education and food, like
Yeah.
while the kids are actually staying at their parents and earn their parents love. Because
Yeah.
like
No, I
me,
agree.
yeah, me growing up in an orphanage, I don't want the same thing that happened to me happen to those like kids.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree.
Because like I didn't get the love of my parents. Like, like when you have your parents around, like the love that you get from
Yeah.
them, they're irreplaceable. I didn't get
Yes.
that.
Yes.
And a
Yes.
lot of kids that grow up in an orphanage end up struggling when they get married, because they don't really know how to love because they didn't get that
They
from their
never got it.
parents.
They never got it. Yeah. It makes sense, man. And again, I mean, it would be a much deeper conversation to dive into the whole fatherless or parentless or homes in Haiti, but I feel like sometimes that's like the least of the problems.
Yeah, it
But
is.
that's a massive problem.
Mm-hmm.
But sadly, again, like I said, for most of them, that's the least of the problems.
Mm-hmm.
But for you, so again, so going back, so I think we were talking about the earthquake. So what happened to you after the earthquake? So what's is that shortly after that? Did you move to the States or what happened?
I was working in a mission in Akaye area, like I
Mm-hmm.
told you.
Mm-hmm.
After I helped those kids, we ended up having like our own mission, and then after that, I left because I got married. I had to choose, because my ex-wife was living in Port-au-Prince back then, and I
Mm-hmm.
was in Akaye, so I had to move to stay with her and stuff, because like downtown Port-au-Prince is not that safe.
It's rough there.
Yeah. And then after a while, she wanted to come back to the States to get her master's and stuff, and I was like, all right, well, I'll just move to go to school too. So we both move
Mm-hmm.
we both move here to the States.
Okay, gotcha. So cool. What's your thought now on the state of Haiti? I know you're from Port-au-Prince. I'm from the northern part of Haiti, so Cap Haitian. Things were never as rough in Cap Haitian. The one time I can remember from my lifetime was when the coup d'etat happened
Mm-hmm.
and they overthrew the president. And that day is a day that I will never forget. But I'm not talking about me. So that's the one story that I can think of that kind of for those few days or weeks that would be comparable to what's been happening in Port-au-Prince right now. So what are your thoughts on what's happening with the gang violence and the assassination of the president and everything? Were you in Haiti then when the president got assassinated, or were you in the States?
I had just left Haiti.
You had just left. Okay.
Yeah, like after I left Haiti, they had Paylock,
Hmm.
and after that, I heard he was assassinated.
Yeah. What are your thoughts now on the state of Haiti with the gang violence and everything?
I I'd say Haiti doesn't deserve all that. like we've been through so much, like
Mm,
disaster, like problems one after another.
yeah,
But like I think what Haiti needs right now is like all the Haitians to realize like together they are stronger. Like
yeah,
they can overcome like whatever they face.
yeah.
So I think that's the biggest thing.
But yeah, so it's one of those things that just the definition of the phrase, it's easier said than done because obviously somebody like yourself, if you were to be the president, if you were to be put in power, you would know exactly what to do because you've always had the heart. From you can see how it manifests when you were in the orphanage, right? You
If
have
I,
a
w-
heart to help, right? But
yeah,
not everybody in Haiti. Matter of fact, it's almost always the case. The people who could help are never the ones in power, right?
yeah, that's the thing. Like they don't let the young people, they don't give them a chance.
No.
It's like, it's like every time it's like the same people, like the old people. Like you've never seen, like for example, they like we are diasporas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if we want to go back, let's say we want to be president, we don't have a chance because like they kick us out because like, we are spend most of our time in the States. That's
Yeah.
what's going on. And
Mm-hmm.
then even the youth down there, the young people down there, like they don't stand a chance.
Yeah.
Like I think Haiti needs like a new face.
Yeah. I mean, again, from my perspective, again, it's easier said than done. And why I'm saying that is not because I disagree with you. I think you need to give the youth, the people who have more to lose, a chance to make their own decisions. I want
Mhm.
America, I want France, I want all these countries to stop meddling. Yes, I know we need help. They're trying to help and stuff like that. But there comes a point where the help that you perhaps trying to give is just not the one, not the kind that we need right now. It's not the kind that the country needs. And the people you try to put in power, the interim governments, are not the ones that should be in power right now because what they do. I mean, you can see what they do. You can just look at their track record. And so, like the sending a whole bunch of Canadian officers, to me, all that stuff is counterproductive. You're in the military. I'm in the military. I think sometimes you find the problem. I'm not saying it's easy. You find a problem and you uproot it. And so the problem right now to me is the gangs are just too much, man. Whenever you hear people like gang leader barbecue talking about, we're trying to help the country, like we're trying to get rid of the corruption and stuff like that. How are you doing that? You're doing that by burning people? You're doing that by kicking poor people out of their own little homes? You're doing that by raping people, by killing people? Like, how are you doing that? And the people, who are you doing it to? You're doing it to the people who need the help the most. Like, you're not hurting the bourgeoisie. So you're not hurting the 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 rich people, the one percenters. You're not hurting them. As soon as you lock up everything, they just go to France, they go to the US, they take their kids out. Yeah, you can burn the stores and stuff like that. Like that store was the one feeding you and the rest of the population, the rest of the town, the city. So to me, it's just like so counterproductive the way that they're doing things. There's a lack of thinking involved. I don't know. I just feel like if there was such thing as a reset button, that's what we would need to get Haiti back on track. And again, it's such a deep conversation. It's such a deep topic, but at the very essence of it, we need to get rid of gangs. Gangs are not helping. I think everybody can understand that. They're frightening people, they're killing people, they're raping people, they're pillaging, they're bringing the country to its knees. Get rid of gangs and let the Haitian people elect people that they truly believe could do the job. And what is the job? Schools, jobs, infrastructure, all those things that are so basic, the rudimentary things that would help the country get on its feet and start thriving. Those things. It's not hard, right? But people are just the corruption. It's at its highest. It's at its peak, and so now you have a failed state. So my perspective. So what do you think?
I will say, for me, the ones that has guns that are on the streets,
Hmm.
they're not the big gangs. They're the small ones. So, unable to get rid of them, you have to start way up top, not on the bottom. Because if you start with the one that are on the streets with guns, you're doing it wrong.
Mm,
Because they are the biggest problem, but the least ones.
I get
Because
that.
like the ones that are, most of them are in the government, or
Hmm.
most of the bourgeoisie,
Yeah,
they're the ones with the money.
I get
Like,
that. And they're
they're the
funding
ones.
the small guys. They're funding the ones that we know
Yes.
now. They're giving them guns, they're giving them weapons and stuff like that. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like you got to start somewhere. If the main guy is hiding, you can't cut the head of the snake. If you cut its waist or whatever, its tail, you still gonna do something to the snake, right? Or maybe the tail
Mhm.
can tell you what the head is, you know what I mean, so to speak. So you got to do something. So you start with what you can see, the tangible. So you have those gangs just running around, just terrifying people, of just killing, pillaging. Start with them. You know,
Yep.
why do we have
Yep.
so many Kenyan officers in Haiti, and the gangs are still or more powerful than they were before? So what's the point? It's a money thing, man. It's a money thing. They're getting paid to be there. They go there and get paid. I think there was one of them that got killed in some sort of confrontation. Other than that, like, I was watching a video the other day. Uh, this patrol Kenyan patrol trucks. So fact check me on that if it wasn't Kenyans. But at anyway, at any rate, one truck doing a patrol, they came under fire, and one of the tires got shot. The whole patrol stopped. They couldn't go anywhere else. I think they had to find a spot to hide, fix the tire, right back to base. Are you kidding me? One truck, and you got a bullet in your tire, and then that's the end of the patrol?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you were serious about bringing stability in Haiti, you would actually organize this whole thing. Hey, the mission is we're going after the gang so that the poor people can go back to their houses, so they can they have to worry about feeding their families, feeding themselves. Now they're worried about being killed, catching a stray bullet, or just being raped, being burnt. Those are all things that's been happening. Let's actually take one of those things out. Let's take the whole being, like we're from Haiti. We've seen poverty. There are times where, we were hungry. I was hungry, but the idea of just like, I might get shot if I just go right down the street, or if it's like 6 o'clock, it's dark, I can't go outside. That's just, I mean, that's another level of just insanity. So you can start there. Get rid of the gangs. Start like inserting some sort of safety and just like a better way of life, man. I don't know. It gets me worked up because I think about the people of Haiti. I can relate. I can put myself in their shoes. And watching this video, see like women, kids are running with people running with the kids, or people in wheelchair pushing them while bullets, like, and then you see kids are running and stuff like that. And then there were videos where like they blur it, but like some people were being burnt on the streets. Dude, that's like insane. That's like animalistic type of living. Not even
It,
animals live that way. And it's
it's
just greed, bro. It's just greed. And people who are in power don't care about Haiti. It's as simple as that. Because if you did, your actions would prove it.
it's sad, because for me, the Carrefour is where I was born.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that place is where most of the gangs are. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes I just say to myself, man, if my dad didn't put me in the orphanage, I would have grew up in Carrefour, and I would probably be one of the gangs. It
Yeah.
depends, you
And
know?
yes. So without cutting you off, that's another thing. That's such a great point. The gang gets so big. Why? It's because there are so many kids just sitting around doing nothing. Those same
Doing
kids that
nothing.
I saw on the street just sniffing paint thinner to get high, there's nothing else better. So you mean to tell me some kid is just sitting there hungry, just completely just starving, no clothes, nowhere to live. some gang comes up to him, some gang leader say like, "Hey, I'll not only pay you, I'll give you power. You protect me, and when I tell you to go kill, you go kill. You don't have to worry about food or a place to live." And are you kidding me? That's as grim as that sound to us. Just, hey, I don't want to go kill people, but at the same time, what's the alternative? So the
I went
government, you don't give them any options. They should be in
no,
school, not killing people.
no, I went to Haiti a year and a half ago, and I was going to my place, and it's sad because like I bought my ticket, wait till the day before my flight, and I called a friend of mine. I was like, "Hey, I have a friend coming tomorrow. Can you pick him up at the airport?" And he was like, "What's his name?" And then I just gave him some random name. And then he showed up at the airport with a piece of paper, like waiting for, like I said, John. So
Mm-hmm.
he was waiting for John. Like I was trying to like because you don't know who to trust, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like I just didn't want my friend to tell another friend, "Hey, I'm going to pick up Isaac at the airport."
And then, people
That's
don't like you or they want
yeah,
to steal from
yeah,
you. And
yeah.
yeah.
It's like you just never know. And then when he saw me at the airport, he was shocked. And then he was like, "Where we going?" I said, "We're going to Akaya."
Mm-hmm.
On the way there, but I didn't go to Akaya with my stuff. I left it somewhere in Port-au-Prince with another friend. I only had to carry on.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just took like a few clothes, put them in a backpack, put my flip-flops on and look dirty and just
Yeah.
get on a
Blend in. You're
car and
trying to
then
blend
yeah.
in. Yeah.
And then on the way there, our car actually got stopped. It wasn't by adults. It
Police
was
officers.
kids. No, I
Kids.
wish it
Mm.
was police
Well,
officers.
sometimes
It
there are
was like,
corrupt police officers just trying to get some money from you too. Wow, kids.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, but this time it was like 12-year-olds, 14-year-olds. I was just looking at them. They were
With guns.
talking to the driver. Or,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's nuts, bro.
They were
That's exactly
talking
what
to
I'm
the
talking about.
driver.
Yeah.
They're like, "Where are you going?" And the driver said where he was going, and then they asked the driver to pay a fee, and then he just pay, and then they just look at me, and I just look at them. It was sad, and then like, "All right, you can go."
Man, that's what I'm talking about, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Those kids, they don't want to do this. They don't want to be killing people, but they got to gain their stripes. They got to do what they got to do to be a part of that new life. And all that is, well, it's the number one thing in a country like that, in a third world country, the number one culprit is the government. And then if the government was good, the infrastructure was there, school and everything was provided for their jobs, and the kid, went to do gang related activities, then perhaps that's the parents, lack of parenting. But there's nothing. There's nothing in Haiti. And another reason why I want people to watch this and kind of look at us, just like the two of us. And it's not like I don't know. I don't know about you, but I have not made it to, like, I'm not a millionaire, but I got to tell you, like, I've hit the lottery because God loves me and I've had tremendous opportunities. I have a tremendous, beautiful family, and I'm I own my own business and I have employees, and like, I'm a veteran. So like, I mean, like, the list goes on and on. And I don't know if I did much to deserve that. I know I did a lot of things to stay on a straight path, but as far as like everything that I've been given, God has given me great people in my life. And it's a testimony to, even in Haiti, that's where I'm from. That's where you're from. Don't lose the hope. Don't just, like, that's the number one thing. I think once you lose the hope, in the case of a kid, you become one of those little gangsters, right? Just don't lose the hope, man. Like, it's, again, easier said than done. Uh, and I can say that you can understand that and back me up on that. You were there. You've seen stuff. You understand how the culture works. You understand the mindset. And this episode would be a lot longer if we start dissecting different topics. So it's not just a one size fit all type of a thing. But yeah, no, I think it's crazy. Now let's go to now you're in the States, and I know you're a spiritual guy. I've seen you posting stuff on Facebook and while you're praying, and now you're in the military. So tell me a little bit more about your life now.
My life right now, sometimes I just look back and I'm just asking myself question like, how did I get here? Like, I consider like me being in the military. It's like something I like. There's a friend when I was at the orphanage. I asked him, "Hey, I want to join the military. How can I join?" And then he was telling me all this story, and then he was like, "Well, at first you have to have a green card." And then I was like, "Well, I will never get that. Come on now, like I'm
Yeah,
an orphan." But
yeah,
like right now, just like looking in myself, it's like, hey, I'm in Germany right now. I'm in the
yeah.
U.S. Army. Like, how did that just happen so fast? Like, like the story of Jonah, right?
Mm-hmm.
So God wanted him to go to Nineveh, and
Yep.
then he was
He
running
didn't want to
from
go.
God, and then yeah, and then he got swallowed. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I was like my plan. I have my own plan, but God
Mm-hmm.
has His own plan for me.
As always.
Every
Mm-hmm.
every time when I got to States, I went to like construction and like I was like doing road construction.
Mm-hmm.
It's like everything just happened like out of the blue. Like I'm not saying like God wants me to stay in the army, but I know He's teaching me a lesson so
Of
that
course.
the
Yeah.
next step He has for me, like it's always like that for me. Like every place I am in life, I always remember, hey, the place I was in last time, here's the lesson I learned from it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like to be here, it was one of my dreams. And like I can say that like God wanted me here too. But like I just can't wait to see what He has next for me.
Of course. Amen, man.
Because like I wanna go back and help the orphanage that I grew up. But right now I'm not in that position.
Of course.
I think God is showing me like how to work on myself before helping others because I cannot help others if I'm not physically and mentally healthy.
Right.
At
Right.
first, if you want to help someone, you got to take care of yourself.
Of course.
And I think that's a lesson that the army is teaching me right now.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
being tough, take care of yourself, and
Mm-hmm.
then you can help others.
Yeah. I mean, that's always the way it is. You cannot give something that you don't have. You cannot help somebody when you yourself need help. You know what I mean? It's like the basic, two people are drowning, so you better know how to save somebody who's drowning. Because if you both are drowning, so you can't really save somebody who's drowning. So you got to save yourself first. So no, I love it, man. I think the military. I can relate to some of the things that you're saying right now. For me, I was at a different spot when I joined, but the military taught me a lot, and I've always wanted to be in the military as well for other personal reasons. But it was one of those. Let me check that off the list. And I've had great experiences in the military. I've had decent ones, and but overall, I'm very happy that I did join the military. I think it's necessary. I think I have a couple friends from South Korea. When I was in high school with one of them, after he graduated from high school, he had to go back because if I understand correctly, I don't know if it's still the case, but everybody had to serve in the military, give 2 years because that's just the way they do it. And I was speaking with a friend of mine yesterday, and I was like, I wish there was the same thing here. And why? It's not because I just want people to understand. A lot of times when you are calling for war, calling for people to go die, do you understand exactly what you're asking for? Do you
Mhm.
can you relate to those soldiers, even to the slightest? War is
Right.
nothing to joke around with, man. Like, I mean, we can see that now in the Middle East. You got Gaza, you got Ukraine, you got Russia. People are dying, bro. it's I don't know, man. It's like I don't know if it's the fact that I'm from an impoverished country, and I've seen like I've been on my way to school with my little brother. We're holding hands. We're walking on one side of the road. We have to move to the other side because there's a dead body just lying there, like flies coming out of their mouths and just staking and stuff like that. That was the way of life. Like we see stuff like, and so over here, people are kind of insulated, and it's nobody wants to get used or see stuff like that. Although there are a lot of crazy stuff happening, like mass shootings, which is absolutely going crazy. But at the same time, specifically the people in government here, sometimes I feel like they're a little bit too quick to just jump to this. Well, then we're gonna go fight. Well, then we're gonna do this. Well, then we're gonna do this. Is it your son that's going? Your cousin? Have you gone? Are you going? Are you leading like the battle? Like what's happening here? Or you just sitting behind your desk and then sign something, just send people to go die. People need to understand that. So I think the military is a great place to, if you're not in good shape physically and mentally, the military is going to help you get there. And I like that about
Hmm.
the military. I like the brotherhood. I like the sisterhood. I'm not trying to leave
Yeah.
the females out, So, but I know in the military, you stay away from females because it's sharp.
Definitely.
Don't get you.
Definitely.
Yeah. I had a
Yeah.
couple of friends who got all knotted up with this whole shark thing, man. It's weird.
Definitely.
So what are your goals moving forward? So as you say, you don't know what God has in stores for you, but as far as what you can see, what you are planning yourself. Oh, by the way, congratulations, because I know you just got married, and
Thank you.
congratulations. So what are your goals moving forward?
Like I told you, I want to be able to go back and help my country.
Mm,
So
yeah.
one of my goals, like we discussed earlier,
Mm-hmm.
like have a place, like I'm not gonna call it a orphanage,
Mm-hmm.
but like having a home
A shelter
where
type of thing.
yeah, yep, where I can help families and kids go to school and sponsorship, like a
Yeah.
sponsorship program
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Now, we get to a point where we're wrapping up. This is whatever, every time I start this podcast, I always say this is a place for hope, truth, and healing. And obviously, the truth part is covered. The healing part is not necessary, not so much necessary for this podcast. Hope. I think hope, that's something that people of Haiti could desperately use. And again, I'm not speaking from somebody who just, I've read a few articles or I've seen a few videos. I'm speaking from somebody who've done those things and also have experienced a lot about Haiti. Hope. What do you want the people of Haiti who are watching this or whenever they will be watching it, or anybody in the third world country, what do you want them to know?
I want them to know that like there is hope for the country if we start working together. If we start listening to each other and like help, we can't just sit and wait for people to come help us. It doesn't
Hmm.
happen that way
Right.
because every country has their own problem. Because like if you don't try to fix your own problem, guess what's gonna happen? The country who's gonna come and help you, they're just gonna cause more problems because you're not used to how they're fixing things or like fixing, like, you
Right.
know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Hmm.
So
Yeah. Yeah. For
like
sure.
like
I'm tracking.
all the tools are there. Everything is there. We like the problem is us. Like we have to know how to work together because that's what other countries are doing. Like they don't hate their brothers and sisters if they have that position in the government working, which is like that's Haiti's one of the biggest problem. Like people get jealous really fast on
Mm.
like what you have.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like there's hope if we just like one another and work with each other. We can do it. If they can do it, why not us?
So what do you say to people who are watching? And that question's coming from perhaps me probably 10, 15 years back, like when I was in Haiti, and I'm saying, man, this is the lesson this is the same talking point that I've been hearing from my grandparents, my parents. have hope. Don't lose hope. Haiti's gonna change one day. We just gotta do this. What do you do to those people who have lost the hope because they've been hearing the same message over and over again, and instead of the country progressing, it's nothing but regressing. So, what do you say to those people who have already lost the hope? Understandably so.
I would say let's try to do things differently. Instead of sitting in a chair every day and said, there's hope, and that never worked. Right now, let's do it differently. We'll say there's hope, but we get in action with action. Back then, it's like there's hope, and then you just sit there and not do anything.
Right. Put
But
actions
like
behind it. That's what you said, right?
actions, yep, put actions behind it because like without action, words are just a myth.
They're just cheap. Yeah. Words are
Yeah.
cheap. What's your message to those gang leaders who were saying that it's a revolution and we're fighting for revolution for the betterment of Haiti, but yet they're just causing more trouble for all Haitians? What's the message for them?
The message for the gangs, I would say, man, like whoever's supporting you, just like go to them.
Yeah. They don't love Haiti.
Like
That's for sure. Whoever's
they
supporting
don't.
you right now don't
Yeah,
love
they
Haiti.
don't. They don't. That's the problem. Like
Yeah.
they just in them for themselves. Like they're just like putting the gangs out there, like do the dirty work, and then after that, they're the same people who's gonna ask to arrest the people and then call them gangs and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So
Yeah.
like they don't love Haiti. They don't love the people that they give the guns to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Simple as that. I agree with you
Yep.
100%. You know, I did an episode where I, asked Barbecue, Jimmy Cherizier, tell me what the plan is. Like, and I'm again asking that again. If he ever sees this, what is the plan? How exactly are you helping Haiti right now? Because like to me, I can't see it. Maybe he just needs to, dumb it down to my level because it doesn't matter how I look at it, whichever angle, I don't see how you're helping people by creating chaos and fear and just disaster. And like everywhere you look, it's like, I just don't see it. But yeah, no, I think, I don't know, hope, but most importantly, I think Haiti needs God. We need God. We need God because nothing's impossible with God. And what we need right now, I think we've gone so like the pendulum has swung so far left where it's gonna be hard without a miracle to just, and that miracle is like for to have God inspired people. And by that, obviously, I mean people who fear God, who listen to God and want to help people. Because help is what we need. Help with everything. There's not one particular thing. We need help. And to me, I don't mind if the help comes from foreign countries, but do it differently from the way that you've been doing it. Instead of just dumping the money, hey, this is money from Red Cross, this is money from UNICEF, this is money from the US, friends. Do it differently. Just do it differently. However you've been doing it, it just has not been working. The money's been going in the wrong pocket and you can see it. So just do it differently. So Isaac, did you want to add anything else before we close?
Well, I just wanna say thank you for inviting me and
It's my pleasure, brother.
like I always like sharing my story. I know that's not all. If I would sit down and tell my story, you wouldn't have enough time to hear it. So,
Hey, listen,
um,
man, I might have to take you up on that because, like, to me, it's not about, as much as I understand the game, it's an eyeball game. You want people to watch and subscribe and all that stuff. I get all that, man. Like, I started this YouTube channel for one reason. Whatever that I'm going to be talking on this channel about, if one person gets it, if it changes one person's life, then my job is done, right? So
mhm.
your story, again, I think people can always learn from your story, from my story, from anybody else that I like. I talk a lot about CSA. I talk a lot about SA because, I don't believe we have a good future. I don't believe we have a next generation if kids, if kids keep getting mistreated and abused. So we got to fix that. So that's the foundation. So I talk a lot about that. I bring people who have been through CSA. So I'm not like, if I'll be very happy one day if somebody watches my channel and tells me that you don't follow the herd, whether it's left or right, Republican, Democrats. I don't want to follow the herd. The only herd I want to follow, the truth. And people
Hmm.
like yourself, your story, I think those stories need to be told. People need to hear about them. So, buddy,
Yeah.
I appreciate you. Thank you for coming on. I know we have a whole different time zone and it's
Yeah.
probably late for you. What is it for you? Like, it's like midnight, 11 o'clock?
Midnight right now. Yeah,
Midnight.
midnight.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. I appreciate you taking the time and staying up. Hopefully your drill sergeant doesn't make you do push-ups tomorrow. I
Nah.
appreciate you. Stay safe and
All
say hi
right.
to your family for me. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And if you get any values out of this podcast, please subscribe, like it, share it, comment. Don't leave it to yourself. And till next time. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you, man.
Hey, yeah, you. Thank you for supporting the channel. Like, subscribe, and share it. Help me spread the word.